When you are a contemporary artist, that means you're a writer, you're a painter, you're a sculptor, you are a videographer, you are a photographer. How can you use that to create autonomy over the work that you create, have better understanding, communication, and also collaboration with third parties like art galleries, art museums, who a lot of times want to control the narrative of your work, right? Where you're going to. And thirdly, how you present yourself on social media. If you're not about the fluff and you really want to have it about substance for your audience, for your platform, I got the prompt for you. First off, go to the link in the bio to find all of the prompts that I have available. When you as an artist do not want other people to dictate what your storyline is, meaning art galleries, art museums, if you have very short-term collaborations with art galleries, art museums, art agencies, and you really want to be more in ownership of the authority that you have in the voice that you represent, also the ownership over your work and the authorship, which is because you determine the storyline, of course, of your own work, then this prompt is a 5-piece prompt that can support you in this. Now, based on what I've been able to find on Reddit and Facebook groups together with ChatGPT, right, our girl ChatGPT, there are a number of things that are coming out of that which have been able to make me construct a 5-piece prompt. And I want you to pay attention. I have tested extensively tested this. So I asked ChatGPT, I want you to find a real life case of an artist and then use the prompt that I've created. So here, ChatGPT says, this is something that I have constructed for you. Let's build it out. So I'm going to take you along into the answers that come out of the prompt that is available for you. First one, this is something that artists are interested in, but kind of hesitant. Like, why? I don't know if I want to use ChatGPT. I don't want to lose my voice. No, contrary. Here is where you can amplify the voice that can lead to a particular outcome that can help you with social presence, but also conversations with third parties when it comes to contracts that you have, presentation, the authorship and ownership of the work. So based on the example that we have, you can pause this to read it as well. This is the idea that most artists are walking around with. I want to create something, or I've created something, I've created a body of work, and this is the idea around it. This is something that you don't have to share with other people. This is just putting your thoughts on paper that you can use to build further from this. All right? Pause to read. Let's go to the next one. Second part of the prompt. Here is where I've constructed a prompt that will allow for you to get a number of pieces. One is a long reflection. It's about 900 words, and it's based on your own idea. Again, nobody has to see it, but it's really great for people that are on Substack, people that have their own blog. So maybe you have a WordPress blog, or you're on Blogger, or any other type of blog that you might have. And it's a great piece where you can start engaging and interacting with people based on the idea. You don't have to present the idea to people like in the first part, but this is the outcome that is really well structured for social media use. I am even adding 3 smaller pieces, 3 excerpts from the idea that you have. So ChatGPT is really looking at your language, what you're talking about. It's not making any additions. It's not changing anything, purely based on what it is that you are thinking about. And these are 3 pieces that you're getting, 150 words. You can use them for Instagram, Facebook. You can use it for Twitter. You have to tweet it a little bit, I think. Blue Sky, whatever you are on, this is where you can use it for. Maybe even as captions into your TikTok posts. Do add hashtags to make sure that the right people are using it, of course. And at the end of the prompt, you are getting the option, do you want more? Or is this enough? And you can always reuse the prompt, of course, based on the idea that you have initially, right? So if you started a chat somewhere in Perplexity, in Claude, in ChatGPT, you can go back to the chat and say, create more of these pieces based on the idea that I have. And so you can create maybe 3 longer form pieces if you want to. These can be great articles for Substack, Blogger, another blog that can be WordPress, so the list goes on. And these shorter pieces you can use, of course, in Instagram and all other places. Great conversation starters. Let's go to the next one. Now, you do not want to be in an echo chamber. However, I'm an artist and I know I'm also very sensitive about my sugar honey iced tea. So I have put in a piece of prompt that says consent-based boundary and compression check. What does that mean? It is actually me interfering into the thinking process, saying, let's play devil's advocate. Do you want to have some responses on your idea just to start the conversation, have you thinking about certain things or not? And you get to choose. You get to say, no, this is exactly what it is that I want to have, and it stops here. Or you can say, well, you know what? Let's play devil's advocate. Maybe there are some holes or perspectives that I have not taken into consideration. And you know what the beautiful thing about this is? You have full control. You have full ownership. You don't have to put it out into the public. You don't have to do anything with it. Or maybe it's just a really great way for you to reflect on it. You have full ownership on it. Let's go to part D, optional response reflection, no obligation. Of course, when you're on social media, you will get responses from people that you're putting out, right? All of those pieces that I've just showed in prompt B, they can lead to reflection. And this is a great prompt that actually says, let's dig deeper into it. Why do people respond to my work the way that they respond to my work, right? So here are some example responses. And you can also see what comes out of it. Again, you have full ownership, autonomy over it. Do you want to respond to people? Do you want to explain further why people look at it this way? Or do you want to tell people, listen, I'm seeing a lot of these type of responses, but this is the body of work. This is what it stands for. You get to determine that. It's such a beautiful way to look at how people respond to what it is that you have. And you can, again, say, yes, or no, I don't want to use their responses. Maybe it's just fine the way it is. Or, well, you know what? I want to have that conversation. Let's get into it. The last part of this prompt is amazing for people who are like, well, I am not really good at wording what it is that I do. So ChatGPT can actually intuitively work along with you based on what you have done, what you have written, your idea. It constructs a statement, a writing that can help in the conversation when you're working with third parties. And third parties are art galleries, art museums, art agencies, places where you are being asked to be part of group expositions, or you have a solo exposition, maybe representation, even if it's long-standing or short-standing representation. It strengthens the voice that you have. Instead of you having to rely on others, especially art galleries, who are more about obscurity and exclusivity, and also the data collecting that they do a lot. I've made a video about that where you as an artist actually have to look into ways of how to create your own voice and to collect the data around how people are interacting and engaging with your work. This prompt is key, right, to do that, because you control the narrative for that. And it's really great for people who have just a little bit a harder time to create statements like this. Again, here's where you can find all my prompts. Link in the bio. This is what I predict to be the new path for many smaller art communities, independent artists who are looking for ways to really emphasize their voice, ownership, data collection, and interaction and engagement with what it is that they are now creating, and not being so dependent on third parties like art galleries, art museums, and the like. This is the way that you are now taking control over it, and how you can use AI prompting to your benefit. It's very intuitive, it is organic, there is no must, and you stay in control over that. This prompt is now available. Follow this page, and I'll see you in the next video.